Hey everybody, welcome to Jeannie's Dishes. Today is a huge snowstorm outside. It's Winter Storm Jonas, and there's like a foot of snow outside, so I thought it would be a perfect day to make some pasta sauce, some meatballs, sausage, chicken parm. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. So everything, the sauce is cooked low and slow, like through most of the day. But it is like well worth the work. And it's really not that much work. So anyways, I'm going to take you step by step on everything that I'm doing and try it. I think you will really like the results. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely put in the comment section below. And I hope you like it. It's going to be fun. See you later. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to be seasoning some meat. Putting a few pieces of garlic in there with a tiny bit of olive oil. And basically you're just coating the pan and flavoring the olive oil. In a few minutes I'm going to take these out. They'll be done doing what they're going to do. And I have some ground beef. Not sure if you can see that. So I'm not using all of this. I just want some, basically I'm making a meat sauce. So I just want maybe a quarter of that. I'm going to just ground up that and put that in my saucepan, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. The rest of the meat later I am going to make some meatballs, and I'm going to put that in the sauce. So these pieces of garlic look like they are done. I'm just going to take those out real quick. Like I said, it's just a few minutes. You definitely don't want it to burn because that will not taste good. Alright, so now all this oil is flavored with garlic, and it's going to make the meat taste even better. So I'm just going to break up a few pieces of meat. And I'm going to let that brown, and I will be back. Alright, so now I have 3 cans of this tomato sauce in a can. And the reason I do it in the can is because I can season it how I want and flavor it. With each can, I'm going to put a can of, it's hard to see, tomato paste. And that'll, because this is pretty thin, so you want to thicken it up a little bit. And I'm going to put it in the pot, and I'm going to put it really low and then simmer it for several hours. And I'll show you the seasoning that I also put into it. Alright, so I have my meat in, and I'm almost put in, it's just kind of like, it's hard to see, Italian seasoning. So why is it on the last blurry? Can you see it now? It's not focusing for some reason, but anyways. So I'm just going to put a bunch of my, palm of my hand, actually, do the wide opening. There's a lot of sauce. So basically I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to rub it together. It's going to release all the seasonings and oils and stuff, and try to get it in the pot, not like me. And then put this on low. And I'm going to take this immersion blender. It's got this like little blade underneath it. It's a handheld blender. And very carefully, I'm going to start mixing everything together. that's done. And then one more ingredient. A little bit of sugar. It kind of cuts through all the acid. Now that it's blended, I can just take a regular spoon and mix that in. And then cover it. Just let it go. Every so often I'm going to mix it. And over here, I am browning up some sausage. These are sweet sausage, not hot. I don't know if you can see that. So once that's brown, I'm going to put that in the sauce as well. And then I'm going to make the meatballs, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys something real quick. This is a garlic press. I don't know if you've ever seen something like this. It's got little tiny holes. It's kind of hard to see. Little tiny holes on it. And basically, what you do is you open it. You get 2 pieces of garlic. These are pretty big, so I might have to do one at a time. Yeah, do one at a time. And you hold it down, and you squeeze. And you see all that yummy garlicky goodness? I'm going to scrape that into my sauce as well. So you just take a knife and scrape it. More flavor. It's going to be so good. Alright, and then you open it. Alright, put the second one in. Again, squeeze. Okay, I just want to show you real quick. The sausage is done. See if I can zoom in a little bit. And see, you want to make sure it's really brown and cooked through. So it took about half hour, 20 minutes, something like that. But more is better than less. You don't want to burn it. You just want to make sure it's nice brown crust, and it cooks for a while. Okay, so I am getting ready to make my meatballs. I have some ground beef, Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, an egg for binding, Parmesan cheese. If you have fresh, it's even better. Onion powder. Again, if you have fresh onion, that would be great. Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. And I've also, I don't know if you can see it, have kind of really finely minced and kind of made a garlic paste out of the garlic with a little bit of salt. And you take the back of your knife and you press it down repeatedly, because you don't want to bite down on a piece of garlic in your meatball. That will not be good. So I will show you how I put this all together. Basically, I'm kind of eyeballing the measurements. After you start mixing everything, you can always add a little bit more. And again, with the seasoning, I'm gonna rub it with my hand so you see it all kind of go in there. A little bit of pepper. And some salt. I'm going to get a fork and mix that egg up. Oh, wait, let me put the garlic in first. Put that in. little bit of water, just a little bit. Okay, you roll up your sleeves and you dig in. Make sure your hands obviously are clean. It's going to take a few minutes. You can just be careful, especially if the bowl is pretty full. You just mix this all together until it's all really combined. And these meatballs are going to be delicious. Okay, it's almost done. And then you roll them into maybe a golf ball shape, maybe a teeny tiny bit little bigger. And then once you get them all rolled out, put a little olive oil in a pan. We'll flavor it with the garlic like we did with the ground beef. And I'll fry up our meatballs. I know some people bake them. You can do that too. Fry them up and we'll put that in our sauce. All right, that looks about good. So basically, you want maybe that size. Can you see it? What size? It's good. See? So I'm gonna keep rolling these out and I will be back. Alrighty, so we are ready. Our pan's heated up. I put the oil in, the garlic. I flavored the oil. I just took it out. So now we're just gonna drop our meatballs in. And you want to space it out enough so you don't want to overcrowd the pan. It'll bring the temperature of the oil down. And basically we want to obviously cook it on the inside, but you want to make sure it's a nice crusty brown, like we did with the sausage, brown crust on the outside. So that's all the yummy flavor. And you want to make sure it's cooked enough too that it's not going to fall apart while it's cooking in the sauce as well. Alright, so one more. Alright, so we'll let this go. Turn it every few minutes and I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. Alright, so it's almost done. You kind of see really nice and crispy brown there. I don't know if you can hear me, it's kind of loud, but yeah, so I'm going to I'm going to drain these, put them in the sauce, and then I will get the next step going. Okay, so now I'm making my chicken cutlets. Basically, I have 1 egg, mixed it up with a little bit of water. I have my Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. You can also use panko breadcrumbs. And my chicken. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm dipping the chicken in the egg wash, both sides, patting it both sides in the breadcrumbs. I also put some Parmesan cheese in here and mix that in, shredded Parmesan cheese. And then I put it on my plate. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fry it up, and I'll show you that. Okay, so I have my olive oil heating up. So what I'm going to do is take one of these. Well, I could take a couple of them actually. There you go. A lot of times it's good to also test the oil before you put it in. I'll probably fit 2 in here. There we go. So I'm going to let that cook both sides till it's brown. And I'm going to put it over my sheet tray here. And I got my sauce, meatballs and sausage in there. So I'm going to use some of the sauce to coat it and put some mozzarella cheese on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alrighty, it looks like it's ready to turn. Let's take a quick look here. There you go. See that? You want to make sure it's cooked through. It's going to cook a little more in the oven when you put the cheese and melt the cheese and everything like that, but you want to make sure it's pretty much cooked. So I'm going to leave it a few more minutes on this side. These are pretty thin, so it shouldn't take too long. Alright, the chicken is done. I'm just draining the excess grease off of it. Now I have a couple pieces over here. I'm just going to show you really quick what I am doing with it. I took some of the sauce and I laid it on the top, kind of like as a bed of sauce, because it keeps the chicken nice and moist. I have some prepared shredded mozzarella cheese. You can, of course, grate this yourself if you have time. And basically, I'm just going to cover this chicken with as much cheese as I want. You know, it's up to your discretion. Obviously, it's not chicken parm without some mozzarella cheese. And then what I'm going to do is ladle some sauce and cover like a blanket of sauce on top of the chicken. I have my oven preheating at 350. So basically, everything's pretty much cooked. You just want to melt the cheese. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I am done. Hey guys, so here we are. We are all done. We have our chicken parm over here. Our ziti, I made some ziti and just put some sauce on it. Fresh meatballs, and our sausage, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna pair it with a nice glass of red wine. It's gonna be delicious. I also have some garlic bread that I got from the store. So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my dinner, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you later. Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to, one, chop some garlic, obviously, two, mincing garlic. It's just a cutting technique, so kind of wanted to show you real quick. So basically, I kind of peeled the skin off of this one, but I'll show you really quick how I did that. So basically, take a big flat knife, smash it, cut the end off, and then the skin comes right off. And that's it. Now, just to chop some garlic, so I'm making some pasta later today. I need some garlic for it. I can cut big chunks like that if I'm just kind of seasoning the oil that my meatballs are going to be in. You want big chunks like that so it's easy to take out. If you want to mince it, you want it obviously a lot finer. So make sure you kind of go like this with your knuckles. Chop. Make sure, very careful. And then what I do is I turn it and do the same way. Now if it's too hard for you to do, what you can do is take your hand, make sure it's away from the bottom part, and let the blade just run back and forth over the garlic. Now it's kind of hard to see, sorry. Don't mind my sleeves, I have my beat up sweatshirt today. Just keep running it over until it gets to the size you want. And then if it's kind of getting all over the board, just pile it back up again. And then keep cutting, make sure your hands are away from the blade, your fingers. And go back and forth over the garlic. Here, how does that look? Looks good to me.